Are you ready to go to the final team?
I am. I'm going to go with another all Hardwood Knocks pick for me, Daniel Gafford. The energy is infectious. The defensive ability is incredible. The way he's able to harness that energy and that athleticism in somewhat of a controlled fashion makes it feel more scalable. This team was 10.1 points per 100 possessions better with him on the floor after he came over from the Bulls, which is just a monumental improvement. And I also just want to highlight his history in NBA Math Crystal Basketball Project, because when he was set to debut as a rookie, the 2019-20 preseason edition, he was tied for 414th in the league. He rose to 310 in the postseason edition, fell back down to a tie for 315 in the preseason edition this past season, and made it all the way up to 184.
Wow.
And I'm betting that we're talking about him. This might be my hottest take yet. I'm betting that we're talking about him as a top 100 guy after this coming season.
Wow. He's a totally operable pick here. No qualms about that. When you sort of look at their setup with Montrezl Harrell, a healthy Thomas Bryant, is his role impacted at all by there? I agree with you, and I kind of knew you were going to pick him. So for the sake of variety, I didn't know we were going to be so in lockstep at the beginning of this pod. I went with Deni Avdija. And I know he's only a sophomore, but something that's not being talked about, and maybe it's because we don't know how he's going to look after fracturing his right ankle, but he just looked like he had such a great understanding of the game last year. And now that you take Russell Westbrook out of the equation, you're bringing in Spencer Dinwiddie, but there's not as much of an offensive monopoly over touches anymore. We might be able to see more on ball stuff from him. And it looks like he has that feel to be, and even like some changes of pace a little bit, even though he's not like super explosive, to set up things in the half court. And I think he can be fine to work off Spencer Dinwiddie and Bradley Beal in the same lineups. He was positionally, by the eye test anyway, I think he's going to end up being a better defender than I ever would have expected. But I like the opportunity for him to have more offensive agency on the ball and what that could mean as a playmaker, sort of seeing more of what he can do at multiple levels of scoring. He has to be healthy. The Wizards have to lean on him, that might be up in the air because this is a deeper team. And I think they still want to make the playoffs. Like, that's the vibe you get based off what's going to happen. When you look, though, now at the top of this roster, Spencer Dinwiddie's coming off a partially torn right ACL. There just might be moments where they actually need him to take on a bigger role if Spencer Dinwiddie's not able to play or if he's dealt with injuries in the past, too. So I think he elevates significantly in offensive importance for this team following the departure of Russell Westbrook. I guess unless you believe that like the Wizards are really married to Aaron Holiday. They might be because I thought they overpaid for him in that trade with the Pacers. But I loved Deni Avdija. Maybe I didn't see enough of him coming in the NBA, but I was disarmed with just some of the moments, the long stretches, the expansity of his skill set overall. And I think he'll get a chance, if healthy this year, to really sort of show it. And so he would be my pick. But this team probably has a few options where you mentioned Daniel Gafford. Maybe this is the right fit for Aaron Holiday finally. I think Rui Hachimura, I'm still not comfortable with his shot selection, but based on how well he shot mid-range looks towards the end of last year, it could be him.
It could also be Kyle Kuzma, who was a legitimately good offensive player during his rookie season. And then his shot went away as a sophomore. He never got another chance as a featured offensive option and developed into a legitimately good defensive player who embraced that role. What if he's given the confidence and opportunity to be a featured offensive player and can connect those two skills together? I don't think that can be ruled out, where all of a sudden, like, he might become that star that people were expecting based on his rookie season. I don't think it's likely. I think it's possible. I'm going to stick with Gafford as a pick, but like Avdija was my second choice. Kuzma was my third. Hachimura was my fourth. And they're all good options.
Hachimura would have been my third behind Gafford and then my pick, Avdija. But it'd be interesting to see if there's more of an appreciation for Kyle Kuzma once he removes the Lakers jersey, because prospects get too hyped up in those sort of red carpet markets. And then like there's that really sudden crash for them because people get so sick of seeing them. It happened with Alex Caruso too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could happen. This was a great exercise. We will do the Western Conference one, probably be released on Tuesday of next week, the day after Labor Day. Thank you all so much for listening. As always, please remember to rate, review, and subscribe to Hardwood Knocks on iTunes, even if you don't use it. The numbers and ratings are stagnant there. Help us out. But also download and subscribe to our podcast wherever you actually get your podcast. We are everywhere they can be found. Follow us on YouTube. Search Hardwood Knocks. Go hit subscribe. Help us get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Help us get there. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Hardwood Knocks, Instagram at _Hardwood_Knocks, TikTok at Hardwood Knocks. Until next time, we'll leave with a shout out to the one, the only, the would have been my pick for the most likely breakout player on the New York Knicks had they been smart and kept him, Frank Ntilikina.